Hi yogis, my name is Manali. Thank you for coming to practice some cannabis-enhanced yoga with me. This yoga video is going to be a gentle meditative flow for quieting mind chatter, but before we get into that, if you do want to see a blog post with tips and meditations to deepen the concepts in this video, you can find the link in the description below. Some props that you'll find really useful for this video are a blanket and a strap, or you can use a belt if you don't have one. And an optional are 2 blocks and a bolster, but if you don't have either of those, you can use 2 fluffy pillows and that will be okay. Find your comfortable seated position, maybe sitting on pillows or just on the ground depending on how your hips feel. And for this practice, I really recommend an indica strain. Since we're trying to quiet mind fluctuations, we don't want to exacerbate it with an energizing sativa. We want to highlight the sensations of the subtle movements of your body, breath, and mind, and an indica is a little bit better for that. So get comfortable and close the windows of your eyes. Start to notice the natural flow of your breath. Notice the sound of your breath flowing in and out of your nostrils and the sensations of the air brushing on the insides of your nose. Pay attention to the entire inhalation right up until it ends and your exhalation starts. Tune in to that exact moment of transition from inhale to exhale, exhale to inhale. Focus on how the breath feels in your nostrils and listen to the sound it makes. Notice if the in-breath and out-breath are equally smooth and of similar length. Keep this awareness of your breath and bring movement to your body in seated cat-cow. Place your hands face down on your knees, and on your exhale, come to cat pose by rounding your back, tucking your chin inwards and leaning backwards. On your inhale, seated cow, peel your chest forward and round your shoulders back, maybe gaze up at the ceiling. Exhale, cat, round your back, tuck your chin into your chest. Inhale, cow, round your shoulders back and gaze up at the ceiling. Sync your breath with your movement. Feel your breath bring openness to the space between your ribs and the back of your lungs. Start to take circular cat-cow motions, going counterclockwise to start. Coming in and out of your seated cat-cow as you take circular movements with your chest. Still going slow, syncing your breath with your movement. And change direction, going clockwise now. Inhaling to cow and come forward, and exhaling to cat and lean back. Come back to a neutral position and sit up nice and tall, setting up for a seated twist. Inhale, reach your arms out, and then exhale, twist over to the right side, starting the twist from your navel. Inhale, come back to neutral, and exhale, seated twist over to the left. Start to find fluid movement, alternating your breath between left and right side. Let the beginning of your breath mark the beginning of your movement. One more cycle of breath on each side. And set up for hero pose. You can use a block here, or if not, just sit down on your heels with your knees together, the tops of your feet down, or you can tuck the toes if that's feeling a little bit painful. Coming to cow face arms pose with your nearby strap or belt, grab it in your right hand and bring your right palm and the strap between your shoulders as if you're going to pat yourself on the back. Bring your left arm up towards the loose part of the strap to reach up between your shoulders and your right fingertips. So your right elbow is pointing up to the ceiling, left elbow pointing down to the floor. Your fingers eventually meet and touch, otherwise just hold on to your strap. Release any unnecessary tension and come back to noticing the flow of your breath. Your stomach contracting and expanding. The feeling of air through your nostrils. And any time that you realize that your mind has wandered away from the breath, acknowledge the thought that comes up, just noticing without adding judgment. And then gently bring your mind back to noticing your breath. Release your strap, keeping it nearby, and come to eagle pose with your right elbow underneath your left. Bring your palms to hug your shoulders, or wrap your arms around each other until your palms are touching. Start with your elbows low, and start to soar your arms like an eagle. Your elbows drawing away from you and up towards the ceiling, fingertips reaching up, but still feeling your shoulder blades drawing back, down towards your back ribs. Take a deep inhale as you unwind your arms. Press your palms away from each other as if you're trying to press the walls of the room away. And reach for your strap, coming to cow face arms on your left. This time hold the strap in your left arm and pat yourself on the back. Reach your right palm up towards your strap or towards your fingers. Maybe you notice one side is tighter than the other, and that's fine. Just honor your body at all times when you're finding your shape. And that might mean doing one side less intensely than the other. Find a gentle lift in your chest. And try and keep your left arm right beside your left ear. And slowly release your strap. Come to eagle arms again with your left elbow on the bottom this time. Bring awareness to the movement of breath in your chest and upper back. And check back in with the quality of your breath. Inhale and unwind your arms. Press your palms away from each other. Move into a pseudo child's pose. Grab a blanket and make it wider than your mat. Then come into a tabletop position on top of your blanket. And bring your knees wider than your mat so that they're just off of the edge. Bring your big toes together and come into a wide-kneed child's pose. Bring your left cheek down. Choose to soften around sensations rather than hardening against them. Remembering you can always breathe deeper and louder than any sensations or thoughts that come up. Change the direction of your gaze by bringing your right cheek down. We're about halfway through this shape. Just be an observer of the sensations you're experiencing without labeling. Mental chatter can show up as judgment of how well you're doing these shapes, but practice observing thoughts and letting them pass through without attaching to them. Bring your chin to rest on top of your forearms and slowly start to come out of the pose, moving like you're moving through butter. Bring your knees together and sit back in a closed-legged child's pose. Bring your forehead on the mat or a block and sweep your arms back by your sides, kind of making yourself into a tiny egg. Notice where your breath goes and where your mind goes. Slowly come up and change your position to laying on your back. Bring your feet on the floor so your knees are facing the ceiling, and then let both knees fall over to the right. Bring your right ankle on top of your left knee. Just bringing a stretch to your IT band and cactus out your arms, and if this stretch is feeling a little bit too intense, feel free to do a simple twist, uncrossing your ankle from your knee and just letting both knees fall over to the right on top of each other. Inhale, bring both knees back to center into a figure 4. Hug your knees in towards your chest, then release and send both knees over to the left, crossing your left ankle over your right knee. Inhale, lift your knees up. Hug your knees into your chest briefly. And then release them down. We're going to set up for a supported fish pose. So if you have 2 blocks, you can use those. If you have a bolster, you can use that instead. If you have neither of those, grab a couple of thick pillows. It doesn't have to be very high, but we want to get a nice chest lift or a gentle back bend when you lay down on it. If you have 2 blocks, which is what I'm using here, you're going to set them up in a T shape. The top part will support your head and the middle part will support your shoulders. If you have some pillows, you'll lay it down right behind your very low back and just lay down on top of it. Let your palms face up beside you. Feel and maybe even see your chest and belly rise and fall with your breath. A little bit more exaggerated with this chest opening pose. You can choose to stay here for your final Savasana pose, or remove your prop and just lay down on your back. Namaste.